cigarettes, 1 underage drinking, 2 dog law violation, and 2 ordinance violations. The criminal charges are as follows for October: 2 criminal mischief, 4 theft cases, 2 receiving stolen property, 4 DUIs, 1 possession of drug paraphernalia, 1 possession of methamphetamines, 1 disorderly conduct. I'd just like to note, like you might see, we had 3 DUI cases and we have 4 DUI arrests. These reports kind of run, so sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. So we might be reporting on these DUIs in October, but because of where they fall in the month, we're waiting for lab results or further investigation, those arrests might not occur for several months later. So that's why you see these skewed numbers like that. Officers conducted 263 traffic enforcement details, 25 on Old Bethel Pike, issuing 26 verbal traffic warnings, 52 citations, 56 written warnings, and officers also conducted 315 business checks. We had a meeting with the Homeowners Association in Wellington Way in West Rockhill Township, and we had our drug take back in October. The totals for Bucks County were 10,125.82 pounds. That's just under 50,000 pounds of drugs collected since 2010. So Bucks County leads the state above Philadelphia, above Montgomery in that. Our totals for that day were 43.38 pounds. We had 2 sites at Grandview Hospital and the station. There's the totals there: 19.58 at Grandview and 23.8 at Penrose at our station, VRPD. And our drop box totals, which is there Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, or if you need someone also on the weekend, you can call the officer back. Those drop box totals, we had 125.86 pounds, just in the drop box alone. That's the report. There's just something to add. I don't know who I talked to last month about the traffic condition out here on Ridge Road. So I did kind of pull some numbers here. We put our speed board up there. Those numbers are good, but people slow down when they see a blinking light, and it's tough how fast they're going. But anyway, I pulled some crash data since the paving was completed, and that was roughly about August 10th. I pulled that data to October 25th. Some of the numbers speak, batting averages, on base percentage, and traffic crash data. In 2016, in that time period, we had, between Lawn Avenue and County Line Road, we had 10 crashes. Same with 2017, we had 10 crashes. In 2016, 7 were reportable, 3 were non-reportable, and the cause of those crashes: 2 were careless driving, 1 DUI, 2 animal ran into a vehicle, so I'm assuming they were deer, 1 distracted driver, and 4 other. I pulled some of those other stats, and a lot of those other crash data stats in 2016 occurred at the light at Lawn and Ridge, turning violations. 2017, 6 reportable, 4 non-reportable, 5 for careless, which is increased since 2016. A couple more cases, so that could be, because it's paved, freshly paved. 1 DUI, 1 animal, 2 distracted, so that's 1 more, and then 1 other. So they both total 10, but the careless driving is increased, so that could tell me that because of the paving, it's increased speed. The traffic data for that, the average speed going southbound was 45, and 44.77, and the average speed going northbound was 44.52. However, in that 7-day period, we had a maximum speed of 79 going one way, we had a maximum speed of 75 going the other way, so that's really fast. There's not like a time period where I'm going to get all these vehicles,
Sorry.
Is that you? In both northbound traffic and southbound traffic in that 7-day period, northbound had about 20,000 vehicles, and southbound had about 19,000 vehicles. So, and the 85th percentile, 85% of those vehicles are traveling 51 miles an hour, southbound and also northbound, 51.46.
What was your slowest speed? I was behind that car.
Yeah.
I did see the slowest speed was 7 miles an hour. Was that you?
No, I was behind.
But they do work as a deterrent. People are speeding and they see the flashing light and they slow down. So really, is the data correct? We would probably need our JMR strips there so people don't see, that you're taking a speed survey to really get an accurate account, but still doesn't negate the fact that we're gonna, see some increased enforcement there. So, I don't know if that helps you. I think it was you that we had talked about that.
I was the one that asked about.
Oh, were you? I'm sorry.
Additional crashes.
Yeah.
Because it, just from Kathy Gerhardt, 218,000 grew. But I've noticed more recently of cars, tire marks.
Yeah,
Off
we
the
had talked
sides.
about that, off the side of the road, right?
And just this past Sunday, there was a telephone pole taken out.
Okay, right.
So we had lost our power for a good 3-4 hours because of someone carelessly driving
Carol, right.
on the bridge, not on our road, on the bridge.
All right, anything else, Chief?
I'd suggest get in touch with Judy. Judy, I think you should share a copy of the information on the survey that was done, because there are quite a few comments in there regarding the regional police, so that they're aware of that.
Good or bad, Don?
Good.
I'll talk to you later.
No.
No, they're all good, Rod.
Yeah.
Has the law about using your turn signals been rescinded, or changed or modified so that you only turn it on when you turn?
I've not heard that.
Just a question.
Mr. Fox, can you identify your name and
I'm
address?
sorry, Dennis Fox, Bardsley Road. The traffic lights on Lawn Avenue coming off of the bypass.
Oh my God, you wait forever, right?
PennDOT issue.
Who controls those?
PennDOT.
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 Be very careful of that light, because
Yeah.
you might think that, it's a green light for me, when really it's a traffic light pattern for another exit
Yes.
lane there.
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense, you really have to pay attention.
If I'm coming north on the 309 and I get off at Lawn Avenue and I see that the light has just changed red for me, I will go right and go in through the filling station, make a U-turn.
Get gas, and then,
You almost could, but I'll go back through that light, through the next traffic light, even if that next traffic light is red. I'll go through that to the traffic light on the Ridge Road and make a left, and I can look in my mirror and still see that that light has not changed. I mean, it is.
It's like a 2-minute cycle or
Oh,
something, it's
yeah, it's
brutal.
it's a PennDOT issue, but it coincides with the light there at Ridge and Lawn.
Okay. But I mean, it's,
But it
supposed to
doesn't,
be.
sometimes you wait for 2 minutes for that light to turn green so you can make a left onto Lawn, and then you hit the light at Ridge red. And that, it's like,
Anyone can call PennDOT, 215-345-6060.
yeah, but
Thank you,
that,
Judy. Mr. Fox, thanks for giving away our secret of how we get around
the
it.
other question is, I believe there's a new law, and correct me if I'm wrong, that says if you think you waited too long for a red light, you may proceed through that red light.
Yeah, I think it's more specific whether you believe that the light is malfunctioning.
I can think that every time I go through that.
But I'll guarantee you this.
You're gonna give me a ticket.
No, I won't. I just push papers around all day. No, if that happens, and I think that law was generated by someone out in the western part of the state, specifically for motorcycles coming up to a
yes.
light where those lights that are tripped by that wire, activated by that, and that wasn't happening, so that law passed. But if you do proceed and you're involved in a crash, and let's say, the light was malfunctioned, but you proceed from one traffic lane into another, that crash would be your fault. So just be very careful of that.
Okay, so the police department does not care if we make a U-turn there?
Oh, the police department cares if you make a U-turn. Yeah.
Just hope they're not watching.
Because you can't make a U-turn at close to an intersection, and you're making a U-turn close to Almont Road, and you're making a U-turn close to that off-ramp. When do you usually make those U-turns?
Through the gas station.
Yeah, but that's not a U-turn.
Mrs. Marks?
I have a question, Linda Marks, 710 Thousand Acre Road. With the repaving of the ridge, has the police department taken particular notice to how much faster the empty dump trucks are coming out the ridge road?
We have not.
I leave work, I mean, I noticed it before because there was that particular bump coming this way across from Ware's house at Gold Mine Road, that everybody kind of slowed down for, but now it's nice and smooth. So I leave my house about 7 o'clock, coming onto the ridge to come out to work. And these trucks, because they're empty, are flying out the ridge.
Towards the
Quarry,
line.
because they're empty.
Okay.
I don't see them necessarily coming the other way because of the time I'm coming home. But yes, definitely in the morning. I was coming home the other day, saw a guy with a dump truck coming this way, towing something on the back, on his cell phone. And I was sitting at the top of Washington Avenue waiting to come out, and he was flying out the road. So I just didn't know if anybody had suggested to maybe keep an increased eye, maybe park in the driveway at the natural farm, at Whitey's old farm, and just see how fast they're coming out to the quarry in the morning. Because
What did you
they're-
say, what farm was that?
At the top of Thousand Acre Road,
Oh, Licky's farm.
Lichty's old
Okay,
farm.
right, okay.
Yes. So, I mean, I don't know if anybody else has noticed it, but I have certainly noticed it since the ridge is repaved, that they are flying.
Even better is the driveway just past Thousand Acre Road. On the right-hand side, there's a trailer back in the woods back there.
Mhm.
That's a blind
Right across from
driveway.
that farm.
Yeah, but you pull in there, they're not gonna see, they're not gonna have a chance to hit the brakes there. Because you're gonna be
Can't
right
put
on.
that out on video now, everybody will know.
I can delete it, I'll delete it.
Well, we're looking,
Oh, I have a question for you. It was about 2 weeks ago,
Nate.
sorry, Michelle Shetter, 260 Thousand Acre Road. It may have been like 2 weeks ago or something. My husband and I were sitting at light and,
This light at Ridge.
yeah, and there was a truck in front of us, the light turns and we start to go out and this truck speeds up and it was obvious that he is speeding. So I turned my cell phone camera on and I videotaped him, the whole drive from like Lawn Avenue, past this township building, we get off the Thousand Acre Road. So I'm videotaping him, I'm videotaping his odometer, and I got his license plate, and I had half in mind that the next time I swung, drove by the township police building to stop in and show you the video. Could I submit that and could you like give that driver a fine?
I mean, it's more so the contact that we have, you know, even if it was egregious, like you saw him force someone off the road, you know.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that. It
that-
was just
then-
he's speeding, I'm just sort of sick of these trucks speeding on the roads.
But, you know, the argument would be, okay, you're traveling this, is your speedometer certified? You know what I mean? That would be a defense argument, you know, if we would issue that type of a ticket. But it's good to know, because we do make contact with people. Even if it's anonymous, hey, I saw this person speeding or driving reckless and you give a tag, we'll make contact, but it's good to have a name like, hey, you know, this is what happened. And sometimes, I mean, I've had cases where similar type incident where someone was kind of forced off the road, no traffic crash, but someone was driving reckless, ran the tag, out-of-state tag from Ohio. They tracked the person down, he's wanted in Jersey for an armed robbery. So, you know, that little case there, of just a traffic violation on 309, turned into a big case where they extradited the person. So, I mean, you just never know. Information's golden to us, you know, that's what we do with correct information.
Rod, the issue they're talking about, you gotta look at the number of trucks. If you take Naisville's numbers, you ship 750,000 tons out of there every year. And if they're 10-ton loads on most trucks, some are 20, that's 75,000 trucks that come in and out of that quarry a year. And that's what we're faced with, people are faced with, residents of these trucks on the roadway.
And you know, during the reclamation process, those trucks are coming in, weighted, with bills, they're unweighted. So it's even more wear and tear on
Yeah.
the roads.
I mean, we do conduct our mix-up details, and usually West Rockhill Township Building is one of those spots where we do our details, where we weigh trucks, and things like that, so.
what was explained to us in our thing, one of the tours I went to, they don't allow the trucks to go out of the quarry overweight.
Okay.
Right, but coming in, they
Yeah, I don't know.
weigh,
You know,
they can't count this.
Tony can verify that. They won't let you go off the scale.
Yeah, they won't.
You can't go out the gate.
They're certified scale masters.
Yep.
No way.
Okay. We usually get our overweights from like a bridge
Yep.
restricted weight type thing.
Covers is another issue,
Yeah,
On the
that's a
stone.
violation, right?
Yep.
big issue.
Carol Strobel, Rockhill Road. I'm not sure if the downtown road is in the,
It is.
well, where the bridges are, the
Mhm.
one-lane bridges, especially the one below the church,
Mhm.
closer to Rockhill. It seems like there's, coming from that side, there's always a lot of traffic, and then, you'll sit there and you'll think you're next, and then somebody else comes right through, and if you start up, you have to stop or back up or something. I don't know if there's
I think there's a yield sign there.
there's a yield sign on one side, but it just seems like people don't yield.
Right.
I don't know what else.
Rod, along that same line, I've had people ask me, would it make more sense to let two people go through at once? Because
Yeah,
then
people are
you don't have
impatient.
that break, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It kind of cuts that wait time in half for at least a
You
quarter
could,
of a
but
car.
there's no way to enforce that.
I know, there's
there.
no way to enforce the one at a time either.
Right, no, there's not.
I'm just trying to think of
It
ways
happens
to,
there and it happens at the bridge on Butter Creek.
I mean, we get lines that are a quarter mile long back
Oh,
up
yeah.
there sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just think if
It's
there's
almost
another
all
way
the way
we
to
could.
Thousand Acre Road.
could get people to work together through that intersection, it might help people get home sooner
Yeah.
at night. All right. Sign that says 2 at a time.
You done, Rod?
Donna, if you have any more questions.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the chief's report as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Don.
Second.
Second it. All those signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thanks,
Thanks,
chief.
Rod. Keep up the good
Have a good
work.
night.
Board meeting was last night.
All right, next on the agenda is the Joint Rec Commission. Mr. Miller.
Okay, I have been for the last year just giving you all these updates and everything and trying to let you know everything that's going on. So I just want to do a recap tonight. There's really nothing financially that I need to talk about. Just as a recap, as I reported over the winter last year and over the beginning of the fall and then, spring and the beginning of summer, we redid the snack bar, we did the mural, we had the bathrooms redone, we had the parking lot done. And by the way, the parking lot now, we use it 4 months of the year. The elementary school, West Rockhill Elementary School, uses it the other 8 months of the year. They had 3 events in October. They had their fall festival. They had 2 days where they had Donuts with Dad, that it was filled. I was shocked to see how many cars they have, but they just don't have room in their own parking lot for it with the buses and everything. So it's a good community service to have that. I asked Suzanne to try and get our community service folks in now that the leaves are pretty much all down to come in there and clean out the parking lot and also clean out the pool that's starting to fill up with leaves because it's empty. So that's a good activity we can get going. Over the summer, we had 2 flick and floats. We had 2 customer appreciation days that were put on by Cool Eats. They had a DJ there. They had the big bouncy things there, and I think everybody had a really good time. We had the Bucks County Library come in for a pop-up event. We had a Meet Your Police Day. So Rod already left. I was going to thank him. I mean, a Girl Scout camp out, which I think they had a really good time. They camped outside of the fence, and then the Cool Eats was open in the morning for them to come in, and they each were able to get breakfast. So that was really good. What are we working on right now? We've approved and we are starting to get in all the equipment now. We're converting all the lighting to LED. The parking lots all around the pool and the building interiors, we expect to save about $1,500 a year just in maintenance, but we also are going to save a lot that's $1,500 a year plus maintenance, which, a lot of these lights are up high, so you need to bring a high lift truck in and on. And this is really going to save a lot more than just that. Plus, these lights don't burn out. I mean, you might get 10 or 20 years out of these lights, so it's going to save us a lot in replacement of lights. So that's going to be a really good savings for us. We have a new sound system, all the speakers arrived, all the wiring arrived. So the same person that's going to put in the lighting, while he's up on the pole, he's going to put in our new sound system. There's going to be six speakers around the pool, one over the snack bar and one over the entranceway. They're all about 130-degree directional speakers, so they will focus just on the pool area, and there'll be no noise to any of our neighbors on the outside, so we're hoping that all those phone calls are going to stop. Beginning of before the season last year, we replaced all the wood on all the benches, and then Suzanne and her crew from the community service came in and they stained all the benches in the fall once the pool closed, so they look beautiful right now. And we also have Bob Strobel took two of the benches that were like 40 years old. They were these really nice old antique benches that one sat outside the guard's shack and the other one outside the medical building, and Bob took them and he had them, he stripped off all the old wood, he sent them out to be sandblasted, and now he's putting them back together with beautiful stained, is it oak? I'm not sure what it is.
No.
I could ask, right? Yeah, okay. The shade sails are now up. Suzanne and my wife Ada and I did all the measurements and we got everything ready. We got the hardware, we got the bolts in, so they're ready to go. And we still have a long to-do list, so that's where we are with that. Now, other items. We have a membership committee now. Wendy's not here tonight, but Wendy Bradley's running that, and she has, I think, 5 members from the elementary school, 5 mothers from the elementary school that are going to help with the membership committee. I went to the Borough Council meeting in Sellersville Monday night and asked them if they had some folks they would like to get in. I want this to be a joint effort because it is a joint committee. All right, so that's going on. And I also want to say that for the last 3 months, and I've been looking into having a fairly large event in the big grounds. We probably have, 10 or 12 acres over there, I think, that is outside the fence line. So I went to the Wines on a Hill event in Hilltown this year, and it was fabulous. People paid $20 to get in. It was wine tastings. They had probably 100 vendors in there. They had music and food and all kinds of stuff. So I'm looking to do something like that over there. And I talked to the PAC committee about this. That's the Penridge Area Coordination Committee. That is all of the Penridge area. They were really up for it. I've spoken to people in Sellersville, Bedminster. I went to the Fall Festival, the Gallery at the Arts. Everyone thinks this is a fabulous idea. So it's probably going to be about 18 months out. I met with, Wendy Bradley and I met with Linda Reed, who's the event planner for Percy, and she plans all their big events. So she actually sat down with us and went through what to do and how to get started and what committees we need and what forms and how to do a press release and all that stuff. And she's got a lot of information she's going to give us, and she's also offered to help if there's anything specific we want her to do. So if there's anybody out there that would like to work on something like that, we would be more than happy to have you come in and help us. I think it's a great thing for the community, and I think it's for the whole Penn Ridge community, not just West Rockhill. It's awareness to the pool. We may make some money we can give to the police department or to the fire department or somewhere, right? I want this to be an event like that, okay? So anyhow, that's where we are, okay? That's what we've been doing, and that's what we plan on doing. So we've got a busy year coming up. And I have one more thing. We still have an open seat on the board for the Joint Rec Authority, and Suzanne Clark has applied for that, and I would like to see her on there. So
Before she gets away, as long as she still has her request in,
yeah,
I would like to move forward, and I'd like to make a motion that we do appoint her to that committee. Mr. DeVol, you have any comment regarding that?
No, she's already had it, put it in.
Okay.
You know, she had rejected.
Motion's been made. Second it?
Yeah.
Second it? All those signify by saying aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. That's all oh, Frank has a question.
Yes, Frank?
Frank Schimender at 1030 Allentown Road. Have you received any anonymous gifts or gifts of any kind?